Greetings, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to my new Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast series. We have been overwhelmed with the responses that people have shared from listening to these messages on my SiriusXM show over the years. Those listeners, and they're sharing my show with their network, telling people about it, telling their family members, their friends, and their coworkers about this show and the impact it's having on their lives. That's the main reason that this show is now #1 for self-help in America, and I'm very grateful. Yet, we realize that many people do not have satellite radio and therefore could not experience for themselves the message. They could not get it for themselves. So we are now sharing these messages with everyone via this new podcast. Enjoy it and share it with your network. And let's help even more people to do more, be more, and achieve more. Tell everybody so that they can live a Wealthy Ways life as well. Welcome to the new Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. And remember, your best is yet to come.
But is there any chance of finding it out there? How can you forget the one sure thing in all this confusion? What you desire is already guaranteed. Promised by our Maker to all who believe.
Somebody. Yes.
The world's gone completely mad.
The world's gone completely mad.
But you don't walk alone.
You don't walk alone.
When the master's in your home, he's your defense against anything that's bad. Now there will be those doubters.
There'll be doubters. Telling you you're chasing an illusion. Come on.
But you know the truth.
And the truth will set you free, make you free. You'll see it's possible. The sky is the limit. Faith can take you as far as you want to go. You gotta have faith to believe that all things are possible. Faith can turn your situations around. You can live your dreams. You got to have faith, and then you got to act on that faith. Faith without works is dead. So you must take action on your faith. I am excited about today's show. I'm excited for all the listeners across America. I'm grateful for the people who've been listening for years on XM Radio. I'm just excited about my guest today. I have had the opportunity over the years to bring on the best and the brightest in the world in wealth building, in success, in self-help, in personal development. This gentleman, I actually heard him on the radio. Show you the power of radio. I have a good friend, Chaplain Terry Johnson, who is with the WGTS radio station. I have been on that show a number of times. Every time I have a new book out, they invite me to be on. And so a couple weeks ago on a Friday night, I was in D.C. and I was on my way to an event. And I had the radio on WGTS when I popped in the car. I hit it, and it was Friday night because they had this interview section, but it was at the end of the show, and I just heard a little bit of the interview. So I liked what I heard, so next morning I turned it on again, and I was able to catch the whole interview, and it was incredible. It was an incredible interview. A book called 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire, and all you need is 2 or 3 of these ways to work. I was so inspired as well as empowered by the message that I called my friend Paul Glenn from the Potomac Adventist bookstore and said, I want to meet this gentleman. I want to have him on my show. My listeners need to hear this message. His name is Paul Damazo. You might have heard his name. You might not have. But this book is getting great responses. It's been a finalist for the Next Generation Indie Book Awards. It's a Best Book Awards finalist for U.S. Book News. Let me tell you about Mr. Damazo. He started investing at age 15. And for over 50 years, he has proven investment strategies have earned him an annual and average return rate of 15% or more. He has become a millionaire and a multimillionaire. He is an accomplished businessman, a philanthropist, a inspirational speaker and trainer. And for more than 20 years, he has helped untold numbers of people across America create wealth. He has a passion for helping people, especially young people, to have a more rewarding, happy life by making more educated and wise financial decisions. And he says you can become wealthy without having been born into wealth, without a silver spoon in your mouth. He said you can become wealthy on a minimum salary if you know what to do. And he is telling people how to do it. I am grateful to have him on as a guest today. Paul Damazo. Are you there, Paul?
I'm here, and I wish my mother and father could hear everything you just said. My buttons are popping, my dear friend.
Oh, my friend, you have blessed me already. This book is fantastic. I've just got to tell you, this book is fantastic. I want to thank you for sending it. I'm making this mandatory reading for everybody, my family, my friends. Everybody's going to have to read this book because you speak about so many things. But before we get there, let's talk about who you are, where you came from, your background. Obviously, if you've been investing for over 50 years, why don't you just go ahead and tell people how old you are and all of those things so they'll know that this is not something you just made up.
Absolutely not. Okay. Willie, I started saving, just like you said, and investing. There's a difference. Saving is one thing, but you have to invest to increase your estate.
Yes.
Okay. And at 15%, you double your estate every 5 years, actually 4.8 years. I rounded out to 5. Now, I started at 15, like you said. Let me tell you something. I was in the Army. I was promoted every trip. I was stationed aboard a troop ship. And I only had 1 year of high school when I was drafted. And I was one of the youngest sergeant majors in the Army out of 16.5 million people. And I saved money in the Army. When I got married at 21, listen to this. I had enough money for our honeymoon. I had enough money to buy all brand new furniture to move into our apartment. I had money invested for my college tuition. And I had money left over when I graduated from college. When I graduated from college, I went to Florida State University to get my master's and interned there for a year. And I've been in business all my life. In fact, I started 11 businesses, grew them, and sold them. And at age 45, my dear wife and I gave our first $11 million away, and many millions since then to many different churches, charities, organizations that are helping people. And over time, I did 2 video productions, 6 hours each on personal finance and wisdom on wealth. I did 9 television programs on personal finance. I've written 3 books on personal finance. All of them had multiple printings. And this is my latest one, 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire. In fact, that'll be coming out hopefully this year yet in paperback. And like you said, for 51 consecutive years.
How old were you when you started investing?
15.
15. So you are almost 70 now?
I'm over that. But for 51 years,
wow.
My dear Willie.
Wow. He's in his, okay. So you didn't start this yesterday, and you're not talking about something that is just some hearsay. You have actually lived this for over 50 years.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you my record. This year, I just finished 51 consecutive years, consecutive years, of averaging 15% per year on all my investments for 51 consecutive years. And I say 15% minimum. And I'm going to give you, when you're ready in the show, my 3 steps that I use all my life to get 15% minimum per year.
Wow.
And your listeners all over the country are going to have my 3 steps.
Folks, I'm telling you, folks. Now, one thing you said, and we're going to take a break in a couple minutes, but you said your biggest mistake, you've already said it, but you can say it again. What was your biggest mistake in money?
My biggest mistake in life was giving the first $11 million away at that time. For this reason, Willie, if I had kept that $11 million invested, compounding, doubling every 5 years, instead of giving $11 million away to one organization that was helping other people, today, as we speak, I could be writing 293 checks for $11 million each to 293 different charities across America.
Wow. Folks, this is a giver. That's why he's on the air today with me. He wants to give to you because he believes that as you give, so shall it be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, overflowing. And he wants to give to you secrets and strategies for you to become a millionaire, not just so you can get a bigger house, but that you can be a bigger giver and a bigger liver. Because it's not so much what you give that you remember to get by what you remember to buy, is what you give that you remember to buy. So Paul Damazo is going to start giving his tips when we come back. Don't go anywhere because I've got lots more. This is Willie Jolley, and we've got my guest, Paul Damazo. He's the author of the book, 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire. We're going to go through these ways. We're going to talk about getting 15% every year. We're going to talk about how you can become wealthy. Don't go anywhere. Turn on the radio. Tell everybody, lottie-dottie, everybody, it's time to get wealthy in America. You're listening to the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Network show across America, and for sure, the best is yet to come.
If you cannot depend on them.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and if you're enjoying this information you're hearing on this podcast, I want to invite you to get even more great information on my new free gift page on my website. Go to wjspeaks.com and hit the All Access badge. On that page, you will find information and resources specifically designed to help you to have greater success. Free ebooks, music, all sorts of interesting and informational interviews for my XM show. I'm telling you, this is a great page. And why do I do it? Because I've learned that the more we give, the more we get. And the more we help other people to grow and go to the next level, the more we receive in our business. So we want to help you. Tell your friends about it. Go to Facebook and get my information. Go to my website, get my free resources, and get on wjspeaks.com and hit that All Access badge. It looks like a backstage pass. Click it. You'll get behind the scenes information to the special page to help you grow. All we want in return, all we ask is that you pass it on, because the more you give, the more you get. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
Midnight Phoenix rises from the ashes of the past, shimmering in the darkness. It spreads its wings at last. Golden sun illuminates grassy plains below, and crimson blossoms bloom again where nothing used to grow. Small steps taken on a mighty long road. Small steps taken on a mighty long road. Small steps taken on a mighty long road.
And we're back. Small steps taken on a mighty long road. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And this is a first step for many people. Many of you have wanted to create wealth in America, wanted to live your dreams, live the American dream, but you didn't know how. Well, I'm glad you're listening to this show today. I'm glad you're listening. And I am encouraging you. By the way, that music was taken from my Money Making Music and Motivation CD package. You can get it on my website, williejolly.com. Also, go to my website so you can get on my newsletter because I'm coming to a city near you on a national financial empowerment tour with my friend Kelvin Boston. Well, my guest today is Paul Damazo. He is an incredible gentleman. He has been investing for long over 50 years, but he has been averaging for over 50 consecutive years a 15% return on his investments for over 50 consecutive years. And that is just incredible. He has been a veteran, and as I said earlier, I was speaking yesterday morning for the Wounded Warriors at Walter Reed Army Hospital, so I'm always grateful for veterans. And he also is a husband and father and grandfather, and he talks about that in the book and how that is a powerful part of your success financially. So we are grateful to have him as our guest today, a special guest. We're doing a special show because I think this book is going to be transformational for some of you. So, Paul, thank you for being on with me.
My pleasure. And I would suggest one thing right now,
Yes.
Willie,
Yes.
that everybody get a pad and a pen or two, because I'm going to be giving some very vital information to help them for the rest of their life. I want to turn their financial life around starting today as long as they live.
Well, you know what? I'm going to throw the ball at you, and you just get to go. And I'll tell you when we run out of time and in this segment, we'll pick up for the next one. Go ahead. You just go. How about this? Let me ask you this. You've achieved a 15% average annual return for over 50 years. Now, you got to tell us how.
Tell you about that?
Yes, tell us about that.
Oh, okay. Take this down. 3 simple things. First of all, let me give you the title again. How to achieve 15% average annual return on all your investments for life. Now, before we get started, I don't want you to be discouraged, because this year you may make 9%, but next year you may make 22%. I'm talking about average annual return, 15% minimum. And this I've done for 51 years. Some years I've made as much as 85% on all of my investments. So this will happen to you, too, as you move in your investment planning. Number 1, step 1, always watch for short, intermediate, and long-term trends and take advantage of them. You know, folk, all the time something is going on. All my life there have been trends. And if you're alive and you occasionally read a newspaper or watch the news, you're going to see these trends, and as you get more tuned to them, they're going to start coming to you. Now, let me give you an example that's happening right now. Agriculture and related industries like fertilizer, seed farm, equipment manufacturers, etc. And you say, why agriculture? My dear friends, did you know, and of course you do because you're paying so much more for your food at the store and have been for months and months and months, and it's going to get worse. Listen, this year, all of the major crops, corn, wheat, soybeans, cotton, cattle, all hit their highest level in the history of America in the last 12 months. Now, what is causing this? This trend is being caused by dozens of reasons. One is drought, and the grain crops have been severely curtailed around the world because of droughts in Russia, Ukraine, Australia, where we get a lot of our wheat, plus America. But fortunately, we weren't hit with droughts last year for the crops. Now, you have been reading the news like I have. In the last 6 months, 6 nations have had riots, food riots, for 2 reasons: high prices and inadequate supply. And this is going on all over the world. And another major reason, did you know there are 400 million Chinese residents, citizens, that have gone from poverty to middle class in the last 10 years alone? Now, what do you say? You say, Damazo, what in the world does this have to do with agriculture? They are demanding meat. They're demanding the higher quality things. They're sick and tired of living on the farm in the country, growing up just on vegetables and rice. Now they want all of the other nice things, and where are they getting from? They're importing them from the U.S. and other countries around the world. And this is what's causing food to go up. Now, you say, well, why would just one country cause that? It isn't. India, the same identical thing is happening. Not as fast as the middle class is growing, faster than any time in their history. And then you have Indonesia, the same identical thing happening there. You have the same thing happening in Brazil, the 4 fastest growing countries in the world. And just that alone is putting gigantic pressure on the food supply around the world.
Absolutely. Now, so you got more people who have more resources, who want to have a quality of life, and they're willing to pay for it.
Absolutely.
And so if you're a part of the process of getting it to them, your income and your response comes back more readily. Am I right?
Absolutely. Now, let me tell you how to take advantage of agriculture.
Okay.
All right. Now, John Deere, the largest manufacturer of farm equipment, and they sell worldwide.
Yes.
They have averaged 17% per year for the last 10 years, and their profits are exploding. They earned 79%, I believe it was last year alone, because the demand all over the world, okay? So John Deere is a gigantic example. Now, another one I want to give you is potash fertilizer. You know, you can't grow anything without fertilizer. Okay, and potash is the largest manufacturer of fertilizer in the world, and they're right here in Canada. Last year, their returns were 69%. For the last 5 years, they've averaged 42%. Now, get this. For the last 10 years, they've averaged 29% return, average annual return. And they're just starting. This is going to keep growing and growing and growing. One last thing on this agriculture, Willie. Would you believe, and you know this, the third world countries, their soil is so depleted, they get about 25% productivity from their farmland. It's going to take hundreds of millions of tons of fertilizer to bring them up to speed like the rest of the world in their agricultural production. And so fertilizer is a no-brainer.
All right. So let me make sure everybody got it. Here's what he's saying, that you got to look for trends. That's a trend, that the income is going up. We all know that all the calls are going over to India. They're going to China. Even when you call a call center for airline, they go overseas. That means those people are getting jobs. We all know there are a lot of jobs over there. There's a lot more middle class growing. They want more. They got more money, and they want to live more. We're going to talk more about the other ways. That's number one, 3 simple ways to achieve 15%. We got more to tell you how you can do it too. It's simple ways to do it. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Willie Jolley Show across America. And I know with my guest, Paul Damazo, the author of the book, 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire, I know that you can turn your life around. We're going to tell you how to do it. And we want you to stay tuned. This is Willie Jolley. The best is yet to come.
Ups and downs. since I've met you. All that's changed in the blink of an eye. Now all my heart.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and for years I've told people that in order to have a greater life, it starts by having greater individual days. If you have a great day and you repeat that great day 7 times, you've had a great week. And you repeat that week 4 times, you've had a greater month. And then repeat that month 12 times, you've had a greater year, and you're on your way to a greater life. And it starts with that individual day. I recommend you start each day with something powerful. I call it the pure, the powerful, and the positive. Rather than starting your day with bad news, how many people got killed, or how many children got snatched, or how many fires there were, I recommend you start your day with something to inspire and empower and encourage you to make this day a great day. We're excited to announce the start of Jolley TV on my Facebook page. Go to Willie Jolley, Willie.Jolley on Facebook. Just go to Willie.Jolley on Facebook and get ready for a great day and a great life. Have a great day on purpose.
Motivated, highly motivated, gonna take it to the top. Motivated, highly motivated, I'm never gonna stop. I had a job I really hated. It made me sick, but it got me motivated. I knew that this was not where I was meant to be. I didn't want to stay, but I was too afraid to leave. And one day I got my check, there was almost nothing there. I went to the boss, he laughed and said he didn't care. My kids were at home hungry, I was about to lose my home. That's when I decided I had to make it on my own. Gonna take it to the top. I said oh yeah. Said I'm never gonna stop.
I'm motivated, highly motivated. I'm tired of being in a situation where it's not the best it can be, so I had to get motivated. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. I had a job that wasn't paying me enough. I was on my last legs financially, and I made a decision that I was going to change my life. I started reading positive books, listening to positive tapes, going to seminars, listening to experts, learning from them, and my life started to change. And things have been incredible since I changed my thinking. As a man thinketh, so as he is. So I changed my thinking, that changed my actions, and that changed my results. You know, I talked about earlier about destiny. You know, it said in a great speech somewhere, it said, if you plant a thought, you'll reap an action. You plant an action, you'll reap a habit. Plant a habit, you'll reap your destiny. What are the habits that you are going to have that are going to help you get to your destiny? It starts with your thinking. And that is why I bring on the best and the brightest in the world to help you to change your thinking. Because if you change your thinking, you'll change everything else. This book is called 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire. All you need is 2 or 3. His name is Paul Damazo, and he talks about how to become wealthy while young, and even talks, and we're going to talk about later, how if you're a little older and you're getting started later, how you can do that as well. Paul Damazo is a man who has become a multimillionaire, has given away millions and millions of dollars, and helped multiple people become millionaires around the country. He is an incredible gentleman, and he loves his wife, his children, his grandchildren, and he has this fabulous book. Now, Paul, where can people get this book?
Good question. For those of you, I have 2 suggestions. Those of you in the greater Washington area, the Potomac Adventist Book and Health Food Store on 12004 Cherry Hill Road, Silver Springs. That's right in the Orchard Center Mall in Silver Springs. You can't miss it once you get in the mall. In addition to that, he can mail books all over the nation. And here's a toll-free number where you can get a book regardless where you are listening if you're not in the Washington area. 800-325-8492. And that's the Potomac Adventist Book and Health Food Store. Get it right there at their store or call their toll-free number, and they ship books all over the country constantly. Now,
give me that number one more time.
800-325-8492.
All right.
And I have one more toll-free number for you. It's another outlet, and that number is 888-811-5663. And they can ship, and they do ship every day in the week all over the country. And those two numbers will get you a book, but don't wait too long because we expect they will be sold out in the next 3 weeks. And we're working on the new paperback copy, but that won't be available for another 9 months. So don't delay. Get your order in as soon as you can.
I'm telling you, folks, you're going to love this. You're going to want one for your family members as well. My wife and I were talking about it. She said we got to let our children read it. We've got to let our staff members read it because we want people to become wealthy. And these are ways. What I was most, I think I was most inspired by. You could be somebody who works as a janitor or as a housekeeper or as a gardener or as a landscaper. You don't have to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an architect or a basketball player to become a millionaire.
Amen.
All right. You can be, if you know the principles, you can start to use it. And I heard that said one time, not just by Paul in his book, but Bob Johnson, the billionaire founder of Black Entertainment Television. He said one time, he said, if you understand the power of investing, no matter what, you can become wealthy, even if you only make $15,000 a year. If you're able to live below your means and invest the difference, and you're wise in your investments. And Michelle Singletary has said that for years. Her big mama, as she calls it, would invest only on a $15,000 a year salary and sent all the kids to college, as well as owned a home, owned a car, and had resources left over, and left a lot of money to her church and to her charities because she was wise and did these simple strategies. So, Paul, we're going to talk more about this, and people, y'all can get this book. Also, Paul, can you get it on Amazon?
Yes. They, in fact, another shipment is going out to them today. So they're going to be limited because this is the last shipment we have for them, okay. And it's going out today, they tell me.
All right, so folks, you got to get this book soon. Don't be fooling around on this because you're going to want this book. Okay,
Willie.
Yes.
Talking about the importance of this for children. I gave a seminar to a very large African-American outstanding university there at Huntsville, Alabama. Oakwood University, a year ago.
Yep.
And I just got a call 2 weeks ago from a lady. Said, I had to call you on the anniversary to let you know what happened. My husband and I were at your seminar, and you turned our life around for the rest of our life, and I bought one book for us, and we have 5 beautiful daughters. I bought one for each of them, 6 total. And would you believe, I called to give you an update. As we speak, every one of my daughters have read the book, underlined it, and are applying it. Every one have an investment program, 2 in the high school, 2 at the university, 1 is already graduated. In addition, the 3 oldest ones already have an investment program and are making money following your simple system. And lastly, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because you not only changed my husband and my life, but you changed my daughters. All 7 of us will never be the same again as long as we live because you took the time to turn our financial life around.
Amen. I love that. I love those kind of letters, those kind of testimonies. So let's talk about the next simple way to achieve 50% average return for life. You told us one is always look for short, intermediate, and long-term trends and take advantage of them.
All right. Just before we leave that, let me give you one more example on the agriculture. Right. I want you to take this down. It's Mosaic fertilizer. And they're on the New York Stock Exchange, and their symbol is M as in Mary, O as in Orange, S as in Sam. They have averaged almost 26% for the last 7 years, and it's going up more and more all the time. Now, before we leave the trends, I want to give you just two quick examples. United Airlines, as you know, they went into bankruptcy 7 years ago, and no one with any knowledge knew that they weren't going to be liquidated. They were coming back stronger. And would you believe their stock went down to 52 cents, and that's when I bought it when they were in bankruptcy. People thought I was crazy. They got out of bankruptcy, and that stock went up to $30 a share, and the average was almost 79% per year for the last 7 years they came out of bankruptcy. Listen, my dear friends, if you had invested $10,000 when they were in bankruptcy at $52 a share, you would have almost $600,000 today, 7 years later. That, my dear friends, is a trend. One last quick trend. And you know this, my dear Willie.
Yep.
There are 17 rare metals in the world that are used for every electronic, the military, technology, national security depends on this. And you know who owns 95% of these rare earth metals that are needed vitally in all of these things in every TV and et cetera, every iPhone, every iPad, et cetera? China. And they locked their doors. They dropped last year 45% of all of the exports of the rare earth metals. And this year, in addition to locking out 45% exports, they tripled the cost of the products, these rare metals, and now they've almost closed the door 100%. There's only 5% left throughout the whole world. I want to give you just one company, and they have earned 445% just in the last year alone. And the name is Moly, M-O-L-Y, Corporation. And here's the phone number to call them. They're right here in Greenwood, Colorado. And their mine is not too far from me, and they're expanding like crazy. I was watching their evening business news, and just one day, 2 weeks ago, the stock went up $4.69 in one day.
What's that number?
I'm sorry?
What's the number?
The phone number is 303-843-8040.
8040. Hold that thought. We're going to come back. We got to jump off for a quick break. We'll be right back. We got to give you more stuff, folks. This is, I'm telling you, you got to get a piece of paper and a pencil. You're listening to the Willie Jolley Show with my guest, Paul Damazo, the author of 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire. Stay tuned, because the best is yet to come.
What good is our friend if you can?
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs, because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech, and I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it, because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friend said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come.
The D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude.
About your attitude. 1 8-letter word that has such a big impact on your success or your failure. Attitude. Not just about a disposition, but also about how you see the world, how you see life. Do you see it from a negative perspective, or do you see it from a positive perspective? It's your choice. It's about your attitude. See, my friend Keith Harrell wrote a book called Attitude is Everything, and he wasn't lying. Attitude truly is everything. It's about how you view things, how you perceive things, and how you go after things. Can you control the time? No. Can you control the weather? No. Can you control what other people say or do? No. You can only control you and your attitude. And your attitude to life determines your altitude in life. It's about your attitude.
It's about your attitude.
It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. Taken from Money Making Music and Motivation. And you heard me mention in that song, I give God glory for my dear friend Keith Harrell, but wrote the book Attitude is Everything, one of the best books I've ever read about developing a positive attitude. And you can still get that book, and it will be a blessing to his family, and it will be a blessing to you and your family. Attitude is everything. And I'm grateful for his friendship and him being a good buddy of mine, and if you ever heard him speak, he'd always say super fantastic. Well, we are having a super fantastic day today. We've got my guest Paul Damazo on. I heard him on the radio some weeks ago. He blew my mind. I said I want to have that guy on my show because people need to hear how they can become a millionaire. And let me tell you, folks, it is important. Paul, before we get to the second 2 steps, I want to take a second right now at the top of this, let's talk about why is it important to be wealthy. Give me some reasons why it's important to be wealthy.
Well, listen, the future depends on you. You remember, Willie, 25 years ago, almost every company had a defined retirement program taking care of you till you die, you and your wife. Now we're down to 15%, and every month there's another company or two, and I'm talking about the Fortune 500. There's not going to be another defined retirement program left within 5 years. You mark my word, the way they've been eliminated. There's going to be less Social Security, less Medicare, depending on what state. 46 states facing bankruptcy, and they're having to curtail everything. Right in California, they're cutting even the needy for the children, medical care, all of these kinds of things. So you have to become wealthy so that you can take care of yourself and your dear family, because you're not going to be able to depend on the government and the state, and because we're in bankruptcy right now as a nation, almost over $14 trillion in debt. So all of these, there are 20 reasons why you need to be self-sufficient and wealthy so that you can take care of yourself, because the sources you've been depending on are not going to be there for you.
Absolutely.
You're on your own.
Absolutely. I've been saying that. My wife and I both said, we're going to have to fund our retirement. And so we've got to have a big nest egg, and we've got to be careful with it. But more importantly, also, to be wealthy, because wealth gives you options. It gives you options for your health care. People with money have better health care, typically, consistently. People with money tend to have better education for their children. They can send their children to better education institutions. And your home and where you live. money gives you options for what you can do. When you can say to a job, do you know this job is not what I wanted to do? I can go have some options. But without money, you don't have the options for healthcare, education, and for where you live, as well as for what kind of future you have. So I think Paul is right on. You've got to look that your future depends on you. Your future depends on you. Okay, so we want to talk about number 2, simple ways to achieve 15% average return for life. Well, number 1 was always look for short, intermediate, and long-term trends and take advantage of. What's number 2?
All right. Let me give you one last example of a trend, and then we'll go right on. It's very short.
All right.
Now, coal. Because of Japan's gigantic nuclear power plant disaster and the world's reaction to it, Cloud, C-L-O-U-D, Peak, P-E-A-K, coal company, would you believe, is my choice, but it's Morningstar's top pick, and Morningstar is a top company in the country, as those of you that know finances, with all the research they do. And they've come out and said that Cloud Peak Coal Company is Morningstar's top pick. It's on the New York Stock Exchange, and the symbol is very simple, CLD. And right with that, Willie, listen, we are, as a nation, working on a clean coal procedure so that coal can be used as a clean energy source, and we're almost done with a breakthrough. And when this happens, even though Cloud Coal and all the other coal companies are increasing every day, every week, once we get the clean coal, the stock of coal companies are going to go right through the roof of your house. I mean, it's going to blow everything wide open.
Let me ask you a question. When you invest, do you when you get a dividend, do you put it back into your investment, or do you put it back into your investable funds?
Okay, that's an awesome question. At my age, I need income. I want to have income because I've given most of my money away because of my age, so I want income. But the majority of companies, for your people out there, for your listeners, you can reinvest your dividends and let the dividends buy more shares and keep growing even faster. So whatever you want, if you need the money, get it now. I have an energy we're going to talk about in a few minutes, but I get several $100s every month, and that buys all of my gasoline just from the dividends, and we're going to talk about that. Now, the second way to earn 15% per year, write this down, my dear friends. Very important. High yield dividends. I want you to get this. There are over 650 financial newsletters in America, and I subscribe to 35 different publications, and I get about another 50 free because they sell my name all over the place. And listen, the number one that I will always keep until I die is the high yield investing. And here's their toll-free number, 800-796-8025. Now, Willie, here's why this is so important. Every month, they come out right on the front page. It's a 12-page publication. The front page, they have the high yield security of the month. And every month they highlight a company, and in addition, in the back they give you a half a page of 10% plus dividend companies in America. It's the most awesome newsletter. Now, call and try to get a free copy. Tell them you're on Willie Show and Paul Damazo was his guest, and get a free sample so you can see how you like it. If you like it, then subscribe to it, and make sure if you're paying taxes, it's a tax-deductible item for you. Now, here's why this is so important. Listen to this again. High-yield dividend, 8% plus, investment with stock appreciation to equal to your 15% or higher goal per year. Two things. Number one, you get a stock or security or partnership that's paying 8 to 12% dividends quarterly. Now and then you'll get a gold nugget that pays monthly, and I have 2 or 3 of those. And would you believe, if you get 8% dividend month after month, all the company has to appreciate is 7% per year, their stock, and you average your 15%. And that's only 7% increase in their stock. And this is a no-brainer. It's one of the easiest ways that I found to average my 15% plus over the years.
Wow.
High yield dividends.
High yield dividend. Okay, number 3.
Number 3, this is going to blow your mind. Examples of long-term quality investments. Now, look, Willie, on the trends, 3 months to 3 years. And the high yield, 2 to 5 years, depending on the company you want to keep watching. Mm-hmm. And this last one, number 3, examples of long-term. Many of these, and I'm going to give you 3 or 4 examples of some that I've had for 10, 15, 16, 17 years. Now, and we're not talking about just stocks. These are investments. Did you know 15 to 145% per year as long as you live? Guaranteed, risk-free, tax-free, pays every month. All you have to do is cut up your credit cards. And we'll tell you if you want to know why it's costing you 145%, we'll tell you. Number 2, your working life. 401k equals 100%, and I wish we had a half hour to tell you how that works. Number 3, accounts receivable. I did this for 20 solid years, and you can do this all your life. 25 to 40% with accounts receivable financing. Now listen to this. First and second trust deeds. 25 years I did this. 18 to 30% on first and second trust deeds. Another one. Tree farm. Hey, Willie, did you ever think about a tree earning 15% per year for you? Listen to this. Tree farms, 100 years they have averaged.
Oh, you're making money for 100 years?
Not me. But I'm not 100 years old.
Hold that thought. We got to take a break. But, folks, I'm going to come back. We got to talk more about a couple things I want to make sure we get to. He's giving you a lot of information, but we're going to talk how you can start to get multiple streams of income immediately, as well as how you can start to get wealthy even if you're older and you didn't start early. He's going to tell you, and how time is the secret. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Willie Jolley Show across America. For sure, the best is yet to come.
But Lord, since I met you, all that's changed in the blink of an eye. And everybody's right sometimes. Some rain's gonna fall, and everybody's house sometime trouble will call. But when trouble stops by, you can sit there and cry, or you can make up your mind. You're gonna stand up and fight. Hey, people, listen closely to the sound of my voice. Success in life is never due to chance, but to choice. You choose to go on, to go through the storm. Give up, give in, and go in the time. Oh no, what do you? It's up to you. You win or lose. Whether you win or lose. If you want to reach the top, you must believe deep in your heart. Give it your all, everything you got, and never, ever, ever stop. You gotta keep kicking. You gotta keep trying.
You got to keep kicking. You got to keep trying. You got to keep fighting. You got to keep striving for big and great things, because there's greatness inside of each and every one of you. If you will believe that, if you can just believe that you have something major and massive and exciting inside of you, then you'll start to act on it. As a man thinketh, so as he is. So I want you to think that you can. Think that you're special. Think that you were born with greatness inside of you. You are a special gift from the universe, and you are God's chosen. You've got to believe that. And if you start to believe that, you will act it. You won't have low self-esteem. You won't believe that you are not not supposed to have great success, and that you're dependent on someone else to give you happiness. You have what it is and what it takes to be great. I believe that, and I got to encourage you. Now, my guest today is Paul Damazo. He is the author of the book, 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire. You can get that book. Let me give you a couple of numbers that you can get it at. If you want to, you can go to Amazon.com, but there's a limited number there. But you can call 800-325-8492, 800-325-8492. That's the Potomac Adventist Bookstore. And they will ship it to you around the country, wherever you may be. Or you can call 888-811-5663, and that company will ship it to you as well. But you want to get this book soon because they're going quickly. And he is selling these books like crazy because people are talking about it. I'm talking about it. I'm telling people, get this book because this is one of the books that's going to impact your thinking. And let me say, we were talking about examples of long-term investments and how the 401k. Paul, you talk about the fact that success and wealth is a matter of choice. And a 401k is a matter of choice. Everybody should be involved. If you've got an option for a 401k at your job and you're not taking advantage of it, you're not really serious about wealth. Am I right about it, Paul?
That is absolutely right. 401k, if you work for a company that has one and has a 50% matching, that is worth to you with good investments 100% per year, year after year after year. And the glorious thing is that makes it 100% is because it's tax deductible for your contribution and tax deferred till 70.5. So, and I'm not the only one. There are three major financial newspapers, magazines that all had feature articles 1 month in a row. Money Magazine, the Bible of the money industry, and it came out exactly as mine, 100% per year, 8-page feature article, and on and on. So 401k is an awesome thing, and that's one of the ways to become a multimillionaire. Now, one other example, 2 or 3 quickies here, and we'll be done with this 15%. But you're going to get the idea. Listen, for 80 years, the small cap stock index have averaged 15.7%. And the nice thing is you don't have to know anything about anything other than to be able to write a check and order on the computer or Charles Schwab, the discount broker. And all you have to tell them you want to buy $500 or $1,000 or $20,000 worth of small cap stock index, and that's all. And sign your name to the check. And don't worry about it. It'll be there. Year after year, it'll keep averaging 15.7%. And now, let me tell you about just 2 or 3 others. Starbucks. Everybody knows Starbucks. Listen, for the past 19 years, they've averaged 24, almost 25% per year. Per year, my dear friends. Another one that I've had for years, Plus Resources, and you have to get this. You have to get this. This is the second largest oil and gas company in Canada.
Say it again. What's the name of it?
NA Plus. E as in Edward, N as in Nellie, E as in Edward, R as in Robert, P as in Paul, L U S. NA Plus Resources. Now, here's a toll-free number: 800-319-6462. Now, this includes a 7 to 12% monthly dividend, which I've received nonstop for 13 years, never missed a month, and it varies depending on the price of oil and gas. In addition to that, last year it went up 43% total, and get this, for the last 10 years, it's averaged 32%. So that means in less than 2.5 years, you're doubling your estate when you start talking about returns like that. And that's as real as can be because I've been getting that for over 10 years.
Wow.
Now, and I have just one more. I have 30 of them here, but I'm just giving you some highlights, and the others are just as good or better. Parker Hannifin. I want everybody to write this down. Parker, just like the Parker pen, Parker. And the last is Hannifin, Hanifin. And they're on the New York Stock Exchange, and their symbol is just PH, Paul Harry. And they're a worldwide corporation located right here in good old Cleveland, Ohio. They have over 50 divisions, and most of them are the largest in their fields. And I've been with them for over 14 years, my wife 17 years, the last 10 years alone, they've averaged 17% interest, stock appreciation. So, my dear friends, when people laugh at me because I tell them I average 15%, I just show them my stock report, my monthly statements. Don't have to take my word for it. These companies, you look them up, and they're there. 3 simple steps. Number 1, follow trends. Number 2, high-yield dividends. That good companies that pay 8 to 12% dividends every month or every quarter, and all you need is 5 to 7% stock appreciation from that company. You've averaged your 15%. And number 3, a third way that I use is examples of long-term quality investments. Now, these I keep on and on and on. I rarely change these top stocks that I have because they do so well year in and year out.
So let's talk about, because we're going to run out of time, and I want to make sure we get these things in, because people have to read this book. They just have to go through it, look at all the graphs, and just take your time and enjoy the process. But what I want to empower and encourage people is this, that I want you to be wealthy. I want you to have wealth, and because wealth gives you options for health care for your children, health care for yourself, and that you can have longer life. And also, have great education for your children. I'm always big on health and wealth and education, and that you got to have education for your children, and you've got to be in a position that you can send your children to the best schools, and then where you live. And you can decide to live wherever you want, but you want to be able to have a roof over your head and have some comfort in life. And you don't want to have to be the biggest house in the world, but you do want to have nice places. But we've talked about a couple of things. One thing Paul and I agree on, and we've said it over and over, don't buy brand new off-the-rack cars. Am I right, Paul?
Oh, absolutely. I used to buy in the early days when I first married. For the first 10 years, I had a brand new car every year. And then I started learning about compound interest and the cost of new automobiles. And listen, I buy a cream puff car. My car right now is a Lincoln Town car, 10 years old, 65,000 miles. I bought it from a dear friend. It's the best Lincoln Town car ever made, the most expensive, but I got a tremendous deal, $11,000 when I bought it. And I'm going to run it till I die. And here's the savings. Compared to buying a new car every year or 2 years, I have $4,400 every year I'm saving by keeping this cream puff car rather than buying a new car every year or every 2 years.
And you invest that money, right?
And what was that, Woody?
And you invest the money that you save,
Absolutely.
and then it becomes wealthy. Look, my friend Jim Rohde, I'm having him on the show soon. Jim Rohde is the owner of Smart Practice in Phoenix, Arizona, a multimillionaire. I stay with him when I'm in Phoenix. And he was the one who told me years ago, he has a Lincoln Town car, what made me think of it. He said, Willie, always buy a car that someone else has driven off, brought it back. A lot of these athletes, a lot of folks who have tax problems buy brand new cars and need a write-off. Get those cars. Some of them have low mileage, and get them, and you'll have a great car. It'll get you where you got to go, but you'll save the money that you can invest and live a better quality life on the things that really make a difference. Am I right about it?
That's one of the ways to become a millionaire. You invest that $4,400 a year, and you'll become a millionaire quickly.
That's right, folks. I'm telling you, this is such good stuff. Now, we got to take one more break. I'm going to hold you on one more segment, Paul, and then we're going to come back and talk about how can people, if they're older, how can they get started, even if they're older, to become a millionaire, even if they're in their 50s, that by the time they retire, that they'll be ready to be a millionaire. We're going to be right back with my friend Paul Damazo, author of 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire. Get this book today. You'll be glad you did. And you're listening to the Willie Jolley Show. Go to my website, send me an email, and I'll connect you with Paul. But whatever way we want you to be successful and live the best life possible. The best is yet to come.
Pick up the phone. You can call me. When you're in need, saying you need a friend who'll be there life to the fullest. Give it your best shot. You might as well sing like you don't need the money. Love like you'll never get hurt. Dance like nobody's watching. Put your whole heart in it if you want it to work. I hope you dance. I hope you never lose.
I hope you dance. I hope you dance. And if you're in the D.C. area, make sure to turn on your CBS TV station every morning at 6:39 so you can see my Live Better with Willie Jolley segment. Also in Columbia, South Carolina, and hopefully in more markets coming to your area soon. As I said, I'll be on a tour with Kelvin Boston starting on the 28th in Detroit, and you can come free where we'll be in your city. So go to my website for more information about that, williejolly.com. Sign up for my newsletter. You'll get information about it. I want to jump right into this interview because we only got a few minutes left. And I got Paul Damazo on 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire. You can get that book. I'm going to give you two numbers. Again, to get the book, it's at 800-325-8492. That's 800-325-8492. They'll ship it to you wherever you are in the country. Go to Amazon as well, or you can go to 888-811-5663, 888-811-5663. Paul, any other things before we get into these points that you want to tell people about in terms of your getting the book, your next book, any old books, anything you want to tell people about?
Well, we're going to have a second edition in paperback at less than half the cost later on this year. But you came up with a good thing. Remember, wealth is not a matter of chance. Wealth is a matter of choice, your choice. And my dear friends, as Willie has been telling us many times, this is the number one in your life to decide. Once you make that decision, you want to be wealthy, that's the hardest part. The rest of it will come easier. Wealth is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice, your choice. Turn that switch in your brain. I want to be wealthy. I don't want to be poor. Okay?
I agree with you, right? And let me tell you, folks, he is right on with that. Now, we've both said it. My friend Les Brown, the great motivational speaker, says something like this. He says, you know, for many years, I did not believe that I could be wealthy. I could be wealthy. He said, because for where I came from, the Liberty City, Miami, born to a mother who gave us up as at 6 weeks old to the foster care system. We were adopted. I was labeled educationally mentally retarded. I didn't think that I could get through school. I failed the third grade, failed again the eighth grade. He said, but when he graduated from high school, he got a GED and he became a trash man for a short while until he decided to become wealthy. And that's what Paul is saying. Now Les Brown is able to command over $25,000 per hour per speech. And others have done incredible things when they decide to be wealthy. They decide that it's important to be wealthy and they go about it. Now, Paul, you have said here that what happens if you're an older person? You're in your 50s. You've never invested. You don't have any savings. How can you become wealthy in this time, in the next 10, 15 years? What should you do?
That's an awesome question, Willie. You have to go to chapter 18 in my book. But let me tell you this. There's hope for everyone. For example, to answer Willie's question, say you're 10 years from retirement and you haven't started or you don't have enough saved. Listen, number one, both of you work, husband and wife, and you save one salary and invest it 100% for 10 years, and you're going to be a millionaire. Compounded 15% with my concept that I've been giving you. And in my book, I have a whole chapter on this. Would you believe? And also in the appendix of my book, I have three things. Number one, 2,000 ways to lower your expenses. Another 2,000 ways to lower your income tax. Willie, the number one way to become a millionaire in America, if you're paying $2,500 a year or more taxes, is to cut your taxes in half, or Lyndon made them 100%, and you will become a millionaire very, very quickly. The easiest way in America if you're paying taxes. And remember, taxes, I am a very, very patriotic person, and I believe in America, the best country in the world. However, I don't believe in the philosophy of the governments over the years. This, right now, every dollar of your Social Security you get, 42 cents of that Social Security check you get is borrowed money. For every dollar the government spends, and the entire budget is borrowed money. So you have to depend on yourself for the future. And if you're paying a lot of taxes, cut it down legally or eliminate it completely. And don't feel badly because you're paying taxes hundreds and hundreds of ways. You buy a loaf of bread today on the way home, and you're going to pay 72 different kinds of taxes just in that one loaf of bread. And if every time you gas up, you're paying 40 to 80 cents a gallon for taxes, depending on what state you're living in. There are hundreds of ways you're paying taxes, so don't feel badly if you're not paying income tax. Now, getting back to Willie's question in my book, the whole chapter is telling you ways. And now let me blow your mind. In that same chapter, even if you're retired, you can become wealthy and a millionaire. I give you 10 different ways to do this part-time. Pick out just one of the 10 in retirement if you haven't made it until you got to retirement. Willie,
yes,
I want to mention this.
Yes.
Not Paul Damazo. The IRS, of all people, they made this statement a year and a half ago. Everybody that retires, would you believe only 4 out of 100 are ready for retirement? The rest depend on the government, the family, the bigger Social Security, and friends to get by. Only 4 are ready. And you know what they said the number one reason is? Instant gratification.
Okay, come on, somebody. Talk about it, Paul. Talk about it. Instant gratification. Using your credit card to buy something that you cannot afford, but you buy it because you want it now, rather than saving the money and buying it when you can afford it to pay it with cash, and you end up paying 10 times as much as it's worth because you use your credit card. Am I right, Paul?
Absolutely. That's 145% a year.
Folks, I'm telling you, folks, if you want to get wealthy, you've got to get out of debt, get this credit card debt down. You have to make it a commitment to do it and get it off of your plate. And this has to be critically important because otherwise you're going to make somebody else a millionaire other than yourself.
And Willie, you just hit the nail right on the head when you said, step number 1, get out of debt, so that you have all of that money, and I carry you through the whole sequence of getting out of debt real fast in my book. I have a whole chapter devoted to that. You follow that, and you and your family will stop making so many other people millionaires, and you're going to get out of debt so that you have that money to invest every single month, and you're going to be able to have everything you want. You sacrifice for a couple of years, 3 years, so you're out of debt 100%, including your home, and then you have the money to enjoy life and help other people as you go.
Let me get this quickly to you. And this is not in the book. I want to just ask you off the top of my head. When I talk to my children, my nieces and nephews, my aunts, my wards, and people who I am inspiring, I always tell them, if you get $100, if you get $100, somebody, you earned $100. You can have a formula for life. Here's your formula. If you got $100, the first 10% tithe.
Amen.
Give it. Just get it out of your hand because you can't grow your seed if you eat your seed. Number 2, save the next 10%, put it away so that you got it. Then the next 10%, invest it right away and learn to live on 70% of your income. Of that 70%, cut it in half. Pay your immediate bills and then have some for a rainy day because you're going to have a flat tire, you're going to have a boiler break, you're going to need some money later. And if you get in the habit, if you get every time you get $1, 10%, a dime you tithe, a time you save, a dime you invest. Is that a good strategy for people?
That is awesome. And you hit the nail right on the head when you said the first 10% pays, but you pay your tithe.
Yes.
And God will be with you all the way through this process. But remember what the Bible says, Willie. The Bible says, it talks about finance 2,355 times. All over the country, I ask people, what is the number one word that you see in the Bible over and over again? And 98% say love. Love is only 650 times, 3.6 times more God speaks about finance and money. Why? Because he knew his people were going to need help, special help with their finances throughout all the generations, and especially here in these last days. So God bless you. Tithe is number 1. Now, God will help you, but he won't help you if you're a couch potato. If you sit just sit there and expect God to pour out his blessings and riches like he says he will. He will never do that if you're a couch potato. He expects you to do your part, and God will bless you with his part and more than you ever expected in your life.
Wow, this has gone so quickly. Can I get you back sometime?
Absolutely.
You are fantastic. You are fantastic. Folks, again, Paul Damazo, 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire. An incredible book. I want you to get it. I'm going to read it again and again. I got it highlighted. My wife can't wait till she gets it. My son's got to read it. My daughter, I got to get more copies. Folks, this is going to change your life. Paul, thank you, brother. God bless you real good.
Can you repeat those numbers one last time?
I'll give them one more time. 800-325-8492. 800-325-8492 or 888-811-5663. 888-811-5663. Thank you, Paul.
God bless you and all of your listeners, and I'll be praying for all of you, and have an awesome day.
I look to have you back on going on again, and we're going to stay connected. Folks, thank y'all for listening. This has gone far too fast, but he said it very clearly that the Bible tells you over 2,000 times about finances because it's important for you to have resources so that you can make a difference. God bless you. I'll talk to you next week. Go to my website, williejolly.com. Send me an email. Let me know how you like the show and what you think about this message and how we can improve your life by coming up with even new guests. See you soon. Thank you, Darryl Green, for being my producer today. God bless y'all all. Talk to you next week.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.